Hello. Today I will take you to one of the deepest secrets of the human body. Imagine an ordinary person standing in the dark. Like you. Like me. Bones, muscles, skin. A structure that looks fragile, yet has been refined by evolution for millions of years. So how durable is this body really? Against the infinite cold of space, the crushing pressure of the ocean, the scorching heat of the desert, radiation, acceleration, pain. Let's begin with space. If a human body is exposed to space without a spacesuit, what happens? Hollywood shows explosions. The reality is quieter and stranger. You would not explode. You would not freeze instantly. For about 10 seconds, you would still be conscious. The air in your lungs would rush out. Holding your breath would rupture lung tissue. The correct response is to exhale. Dissolved gases in your blood would form bubbles. Soft tissues would swell gradually. Saliva on your tongue could begin to boil. Not because it is hot, but because pressure is gone. Within 10 to 15 seconds, you would lose consciousness. The oxygen-starved brain would begin shutting down. And yet, if repressurized within roughly 90 seconds, survival is possible. The window exists. The body does not surrender instantly. Now let's return to Earth. Extreme cold. -40. Violent wind. Blood vessels constrict. Circulation is redirected to the core. Hands and feet become secondary. Survival is centralized. Shivering begins. Rapid muscle contractions producing heat. Your body becomes its own furnace. Below 35 degrees Celsius, hypothermia begins. At 32 degrees Celsius, confusion and poor judgment appear. At 28 degrees Celsius, heart rhythm becomes unstable. Pain eventually fades, a dangerous illusion of comfort. And yet, there are survivors of extreme hypothermia. In rare cases, metabolism slows so dramatically that the body buys time. The cold, paradoxically, can sometimes protect the brain by slowing cellular damage. Now the opposite extreme, heat, desert, above 50 degrees Celsius, no water, sweat glands activate. Humans can produce up to 2 liters of sweat per hour. Evaporation cools the skin. This is one of our evolutionary advantages, but cooling requires fluid. As dehydration progresses, blood thickens. Circulation becomes strained. At 42 degrees Celsius internal temperature, proteins denature. Enzymes fail. Heat stroke develops. The brain begins to swell. Yet with adaptation, the body becomes more efficient. Sweat composition changes. Plasma volume increases. Even perception shifts. The human organism learns the environment. Now let's add another extreme, acceleration. Fighter pilots and astronauts experience intense G-forces. When acceleration increases, blood is pulled away from the brain. At around 4 to 5 Gs, vision narrows, tunnel vision. At 6 to 7 Gs, blackout can occur. But the body counters this. Heart rate increases, blood vessels constrict. Special breathing techniques and muscle contractions help force blood upward. Pilots train their bodies to resist physics itself. Again, adaptation. Now we descend. The deep ocean. Pressure increases by 1 atmosphere every 10 meters. At 100 meters, 11 atmospheres press on the body. Lungs compress, but do not collapse under normal, breath-hold diving conditions. The diving reflex activates automatically. Heart rate slows. Peripheral circulation decreases. The spleen releases extra red blood cells. Free divers reach depths that seem impossible, 200 meters or more, in darkness, in silence. The body calculates oxygen usage with remarkable efficiency, which brings us to oxygen itself. The brain is unforgiving. Without oxygen, irreversible damage can begin within 4 to 6 minutes. But before failure, the brain fights. Blood pressure rises. Glucose is mobilized. Peripheral systems shut down to prioritize neural tissue. Visual disturbances appear. Sounds distort. Some people report light or calmness. These are not mystical necessarily. They are neurochemical responses under extreme stress. Even shutdown is organized. The brain reduces activity region by region. Order before silence. Now consider pain. Pain feels like weakness, but it is an advanced survival interface. Specialized receptors, nociceptors, detect mechanical damage, heat, chemical imbalance. Signals travel through the spinal cord to the brain in milliseconds. But pain is not fixed. In extreme situations, the brain can suppress it. Soldiers injured in battle sometimes report feeling nothing at first. Adrenaline and endorphins temporarily mute suffering to prioritize survival. Your perception of pain is adjustable, modifiable, context-dependent. And finally, radiation. Invisible, silent. High-energy particles break DNA strands. At the molecular level, bonds are disrupted, but cells are equipped with repair enzymes, base excision repair, double-strand break repair, constant surveillance of genetic integrity. Thousands of DNA errors occur daily. Most are corrected before they become dangerous. At extreme doses, systems fail. History has shown us those limits. But below those thresholds, resilience exists even at the atomic scale. Step back. This same body can endure vacuum, freezing temperatures, crushing pressure, lethal heat, acceleration forces, oxygen deprivation, molecular damage, at least for a measurable window of time. None of these systems are random. Each is the result of selection pressure across millions of years. Now imagine the night sky again, a human figure beneath it. From a distance, the human becomes almost invisible. The earth curves, the sky dominates. It is easy to see fragility. But I see something else. This small biological structure contains mechanisms that anticipate extremes most humans will never face. It contains chemical defenses at the scale of molecules, mechanical adaptations at the scale of organs, and above all, a brain capable of analyzing the universe that threatens it. Perhaps the greatest resilience of the human body is not merely survival. It is awareness. To know that you are fragile, to measure your limits, and still move toward them. You carry this system every second, an adaptive machine refined by time. And right now, it allows you to listen, to think, to question. That may be the most extraordinary ability of all. That's all for today. See you in the next video.